could have confidence. You could not even know what you're talking about up there, but if you got the confidence and you can kind of worm your way through a bit of shit, you can. People are like, oh, that guy does well up there. Eh? What was he saying again?
Half of it's pretending, isn't it? Probably.
Fake it till you make it. That's the
a
real
real
deal, man. That's
thing.
a real thing. I use it a lot. I think that's how I've sort of. That's how you get through things, eh? You just like.
That's how I got to where I am today.
Pretty much, like, not in a nutshell, but it's like, you go and start your own business or whatever. There's no one there holding your hand through that unless shit like that. You're kind of faking it. You're like, oh, you go out there, you're like, oh, I haven't made any money yet, but I'm a businessman.
I'm a businessman.
I'm a businessman.
Oh, you get a guitar? Oh, you're a musician? Yeah, I'm a
music man.
I'm a music man.
No, I think confidence is. I think a lot of people lack confidence, but I mean, I think it's just one of those things. The more you do it, a lot of people are terrified of public speaking. Like terrified.
Well, heads are such volatile things. One day you can be feeling confident, and then the next day, that confidence can just be shattered very quickly. Sometimes, far too easily.
Yeah, we're pretty frail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't take much to. Some days it doesn't
Crumble.
take much to you're having a good day, and then you've had a couple of good days, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
This is the most depressing podcast in the world.
Welcome to the Cracked Eggs.
No, but I think confidence it's an interesting one, eh? I used to do speech back when we were Form 1 and 2, 10. We were doing 9, 10, maybe earlier when we started speech.
Same teacher, I believe.
Nora Brophy. God bless.
Shout out to Nora Brophy.
Auntie Nora Brophy.
You looked at that initially and it was just terrifying, eh? You got to stand up and do these poems. Are you kidding me?
I almost got myself. You'd have to go up and do the poems. It'd be like a competition. So you'd be going. People were getting highly committed and da da da. And so you go up and you'd be, oh, this is your segment. You're up if you're up with your age group. And honestly, I'd be standing in line waiting for my turn. Kind of know my poem, but then that's all gone out the window because my heart's going a million miles an hour. I'm absolutely terrified, almost into a panic attack where I can barely breathe. And I'm going to get up there and spill out this poem. And sometimes I'd lose the plot up there. I'd be up there and I'd just be like, I know the poem back to front, I could any given day I could read it, but I just forgot.
It's a
you just
critical
forget some
error.
shit. You just the brain's just completely overtaken. It's overtaken by people just you think they're out to get you and go when you do something wrong, they're going to point and laugh, but they're just there to cheer you on, man.
I remember feeling an absolute internal meltdown. I'd feel tears welling up in my eyes. I'd feel my face turn 150 degrees. And as you say, if anything else, it makes everyone else in the class uncomfortable probably because they go, oh, this poor guy.
This guy's got demons in him. Shit. No, they used to scare the shit out of me. Like nothing, man. Having to get up there and do that.
Yeah.
It used to terrify. And now I don't mind it now because the only things I'm getting in public for, I'm either there because I either know about what I'm doing there or something. So it just I don't know.
Well, the old demons are still there for me. They're
definitely still there.
They're still there.
They're hiding away somewhere.
I don't know if you ever get rid of them, but as you say, you kind of make a truce. You make peace. You sort of. But every now and then they'll throw a wee grenade or they'll start some shit.
I saw something come up the other day. I might have been a wee clip from Mel Gibson, an interview from God, I don't know when. But he said something like, how does he say? What's the worst feeling anybody can feel? What's the worst thing that could happen to anybody? What's the worst fear or some shit that he was sort of saying? He's and then he answers his own question. He goes, public humiliation, because he had heaps of it. He's like, I've had a shit ton of it. But he's he goes, that's the worst fear in the world. I don't have that anymore. He's like, I just don't give a fuck. He's like, I've had the war. What did he get done for? I don't even know what he got publicly shamed for or whatever. But probably I think a couple of things. But he just doesn't care anymore.
He's through the fire.
And he reckons he's just stronger. He's and then he says that timeless. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger after that. I felt him there. I was like, good shit, man. Fucking oath. Don't give a fuck. Like, fuck. It probably twisted him up, when the public or whoever just like they can turn on a man so quick.
Oh, they're
or woman, blood. And they do. And
for a group who are so secretly encouraging when you try to do a speech, they'll turn very quickly when they smell blood.
Oh yes, yeah.
There'll be a feeding frenzy.
No, God bless Mel. I loved him in what was that movie? What Women Want. That was good with the hairdryer in the bath. Oh, that was so good. I think I was about maybe 12 when I watched that.
Taught you everything you knew.
Shit, yeah. Tried the hairdryer in the bath a few times.
Jesus.
No, I didn't. No.
I was thinking the other day about the Amazon River, and I heard this yarn about someone that had a dream to go and... It might have been McConaughey. It might have been Matthew McConaughey. He had a dream about it, and he went and got dropped in there and swam for a bit down the Amazon River. Sort of brought this dream of his to life. And
was he with Tony Robbins?
Look, I couldn't tell you, but
I think he was. I'm pretty sure. Carry on. Sorry.
But I think about that, and my perception of the Amazon River is that if I almost put my foot in the water, something would eat it.
30 piranhas would have had a bite. Yeah.
Something. Yeah. And when I think about jumping off anywhere into that river, I just picture there's a croc under me, or there's something that's going to kill me.
I mean, that fucking thing is so fucking big. I mean, people are out there all the time looking for shit, and trying to find the biggest croc and shit, and they're out there for days and days, sometimes before they find one, like, you could swim a good section of that river, and there'd be nothing there.
I was curious, and I looked it up, and this guy recently swum some of the longest rivers in the world. He'd swum it. And he had he had a support crew with him, and one of the things
was he in a cage? Like, was it a cage going in front of him?
I don't know what he was wearing. But it said there was a support crew with him who were like had like emergency blood and stuff on them to like distract piranhas. So am I reading this correctly? There's some people.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Oh, you could go if you aimed it right. If he got in the middle, he could go badly.
Was he swimming upriver or downriver? I mean, that'd be the big one for me. I mean, if you're swimming downriver, you're not really swimming. You're going with the current.
It's not even the swimming for me. It's just the being around all of that stuff that can kill you. But obviously,
I'd be freaking out.
I'd be freaking out. 100%. Your mind would be. There's something about water underneath you, and you can't see it. I suppose it wouldn't be that much different if you like trekked from one side of a big jungle that had tigers and stuff in it. You'd be the whole time. That'd be in your mind, wouldn't it? There's a tiger stalking me.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the tigers would be. Yeah, well, you wouldn't want to come across one of those out in the Amazon. Fuck that, man. I mean, it's lucky we're over here in New Zealand where you could go out hunting, you pitch your tent up in the middle of the bloody fjords or fucking anywhere, wherever's you can legally hunt, and you there's nothing's gonna, unless like a wild boar or a stag runs into your tent accidentally and hoofs you up.
They reckon biggest dangers are conditions and probably other hunters.
Other hunters have probably killed more people than...
And then your own mind as well. Boy.
Yeah, a few guys have taken by their own mind. But that's what's kind of cool, isn't it? Wouldn't it add a little bit more of an element if you're out there and potentially there's a fucking bear that could come?
Something.
You'd be like... I wouldn't be wandering off from the campfire too far,
Nah, with something primal about it, isn't there?
Yeah, but there's that shit I could... But they're not even thinking about that. Half the time they're not even packing a gun with them when they walk a certain distance, and
Would you say that you're sort of implying that we need to import some big apex predators to sort of spice things?
I think so, yeah. I think we get some grizzlies in... Get a few wolves, and then I reckon everyone should carry handguns, to protect themselves. I don't agree with what I just said there. It's bullshit.
I reckon only politicians should be able to carry guns.
I think so. Yeah. What they should do is also, while they've got the guns there, you know, and they're there fighting for who's going to look after the country. They fucking do it old school. They have a duel, you know. They go out the front of the beehive. Everyone's watching. Hipkins is there. He's got a couple of fucking Colt 45s, whatever they got in his, you know, in his things, and he's got old what's his name over the Luxon's over there. He's got a couple. You can imagine him with like those ones from the bloody Men in Black, those guns, like the wee Jiminy Crickets, pulls them out.
I could almost imagine him in that sort of Fox and the Hound get up from you know, the Brits that go chasing fox. Fuck, there's some weird traditions around, isn't there?
I like that one though. That's cool. I don't know how like
they chase that. Nah,
how
mate.
good it is for
Chasing the foxes. That one where they go out with like 50 hounds after these foxes.
Oh, they chase. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, what's wrong with that?
I like foxes.
Oh yeah.
Never met one.
It's better than war though, isn't it? Keeps them fucking busy, eh? Like,
it's on a very small list of things that are better than war, boy, I suppose.
very narrow. They've got great outfits though. You know, when they go out, they're on the horses.
The English, they.
Do you reckon they'd be having a few beers when they go out there and do that, or they'd be? Or they're just out there like.
I think mainly meth now. No, I don't know what I don't know what they're up to. They're stuck in a few different times, you know. They half think they're in the 17th century. They've sort of got 1 foot. I mean, it's...
Yeah, it's funny when that stuff like that, the culture sort of carries on through, knowing that it's possibly bad for the environment, bad for humans, bad for other animals as well. Oh no, but it's been part of our culture for so long that people will crumble if we don't.
Our minds rely on the culture, and we can't have our minds crumbling.
You see those videos? What is it?
No, that's a horse's reins. Sorry. Is that another Buckingham one?
It's the Buckingham ones, mate. Those guys, they still do that. With the guards. The guards are still out there guarding. What are they guarding now?
On a day-to-day basis.
Have they got a philosopher's stone in there or something? Yeah, like, got these guards out. These comical guards almost like, no one would attack them or try and get past them. They just want to get a photo with them with the horse. Like, it's just, what are they doing there? Those guys,
are they even like, can they even defend? Are they sort of like... Are they sort of like those feeble security guards you see sometimes that you're like,
they were defending the horses, mate. I tell you what, you touch the reins. Don't touch the reins.
Oh, I might have to check that out. Nah, there's some crook stuff going on in
Buckingham. People take the piss though. They're there to do a job. People are going up. They're getting photos. They're getting close. They're taking the piss. You know, they're sort of laughing at them, and then they'll touch the reins. And by that time, the guy's about to shoot. He's ready to shoot them. You know.
This people, we're all doing something with our day, I suppose.
Do you reckon after they've done that, they head back and they're going to go and suck the king off?
Blasphemy!
Surely, yeah. He's going to suck it out. That Palestine, that still cracks me up, eh? The monarchy, they're hanging in there, eh? Yeah. They're fucking hanging in there.
Yeah.
How long do you reckon they'll hang in there for before the Brits? I think the Brits love them too much to give them up, but I think half of the Brits.
Oh, they've constantly got to indoctrinate the next generation, don't they? It could be I don't know how many generations.
It's not looking very good. A couple of them pulled out already.
It's not. If I was a betting man, I don't. They gamble on everything over there too. It's probably at the TAB over there. Like, how long we got left? Oh yeah, no, enjoyable tequila.
Oh, cheers there, boy.
Long live the king.
That king's coronation, that was something else, eh? From some of the stuff that was going on there.
It was better than a fair few movies that have come out in recent times, eh? Like just
the acting,
phenomenal. The imagination, the acting,
the amount of people going along with that and organising that.
It was sort of just a reminder of how ridiculous culture kind of is.
That's all that really is.
Because you're sort of living in one. And when you're living in one, you're just kind of like, this is the way we do things. And they wheeled out something from hundreds of years ago, really, and was like, here's how they used to do things, you know, and we were all like, fuck. Someone might do that to us in a few hundred years. I don't know. It happens by the decade, eh? People roll out the 70s and 80s and go, look what these guys did. You know, we're gonna eventually get summed down to like that whole 100 years, or sort of get summed down to something. You know, we're gonna be roughly in there going.
Hopefully a little more than that, but yeah.
How's it going?
G'day, mate.
Oh,
Can you hear us
all
clearly through here?
I can, yes, yeah.
Hey, Savvy.
Clearly enough, yeah,
You
yeah.
got Sam, that's working over there. I'm just.
What's cracking, Savvy? You got me, mate?
I might have to go through
Can you?
the phone microphone, maybe.
I don't know if I don't think he's got me. If he has, he's ignoring me.
Can you hear Sam?
Yeah,
Savvy, Sammy here. How you going, fella?
yeah.
Go,
Got ya.
What's cracking, mate?
What's cracking? Not a lot, actually.
Me and Wax were just sitting here talking about a few things, and we just who were we talking about? Nobby. What had Nobby been up to?
Oh.
We were.
Oh,
I mean, we think he'd been pretty quiet. You know, he sort of came out. There's a few things getting sort of written about him and stuff.
Is it possible?
yeah.
He just sort of went off the radar a bit. Off the radar a little bit.
He has
Yeah.
quietened down a wee bit, yeah. I don't think that's intentional. I don't think he's, yeah.
Is it
What's
possible
that?
you could head to his house now?
Let's get on it now. Yeah, I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, Nobby, to be fair, you could probably give him a ring now and he'd,
No, we'll catch you up, mate. We'll give him a ring.
What's the time? He'd still be up.
No,
He's not short of an opinion.
No, I haven't heard many opinions from him lately. Yeah, we're just sort of.
Yeah, no, he's there's been no absolute rip snorters from him, but I tell you, yesterday's bloody council meeting, they were talking about the lowering of the voting age of 16, and then basically Barry Stewart and Pottinger piped up and basically said 16-year-olds don't have enough brains to. And it was just the sort of the blunt.
It's arguable though, I suppose, isn't it? In a way.
It is, but it was quite interesting.
It'd be quite interesting because Barry wouldn't normally say anything at all.
So Ludlow sort of piped up and said, I'm not sure that every adult has enough brains to be making a decision around who they vote for.
Hey, Savvy, tell us,
Yeah.
did you witness any of the King's coronation earlier in the year?
That I attempted to watch it and thought it was ridiculous. It's almost like someone was pranking me, that there was this thing on telly that everyone was watching and no one was pointing out how ridiculous it was.
God, they're not.
It's just...
It's our King.
Son, you bow before the king.
Take a knee, son.
Yeah, I mean, any normal person going through that would, when the preparations were going, would go, "Oh, this is a bit ridiculous."
No shit, eh? Like, there's got to be.
The Buckingham Guards would come in and, I
Yeah.
presume, slice them up if they said something.
Oh, if they touched the horse's reins, yeah, for sure.
For saying to Fizz, like, there was not as much creativity going around a lot of movies or the arts
so
at
that
that
was
time.
the hi- you're right, that was the-
it was a cultural.
That was the comedy of the year, boy.
It was yeah.
But a lot of people were into it, I suppose.
Oh yeah, there's some very passionate people. Weren't there? I mean, I probably wasn't one of them, but somehow it hooked me in, just the ridiculousness of
Oh
it.
my god, they're getting away with this. It's daylight robbery in a way.
You obviously see the fingerprints of it in things over here, like the mayoral robes. You know,
Yeah.
Didn't
yeah.
Nobby say he wasn't going to wear it? He's like, no, I don't want to wear that.
I think he wears them for certain things where he is sort of felt like, sister city relationship, and when they do the the citizens ceremonies, he sort of feels obliged to. But no, yeah.
I feel like I would not wear them in office, but I'd probably wear them at home.
What? Okay.
Well, just you'd come, get a bit of respect around.
I am, every time you walk past the mirror, I am the mayor. What is it?
What's
What's
popping
the
over you head over to the neighbours, like just when they're doing the lawns, just with the chain.
and you're doing your lawns with your mural robe on. Where does it come from? The mural robe. What ethnicity is it? Is it is it a Maori thing or is it a? Is it
No.
What's it from? What?
British, definitely British.
Is it a British thing?
Definitely British. Yeah. It's definitely hangover the old.
I don't think the man needs that to fucking be walking around like he's a peacock. Mind you, Tim did look good in his. He looked really good, didn't he? He suited it, and the big chain that he had, the big gold chain come around with all the wee. Look, he won 100 gold medals.
Yeah. I think the robes might be just about falling apart. I don't think they can be dry cleaned. They're that bad.
You've got to be delicate with them.
Yeah, so the chains still make appearance, but that's about it.
Thank God for the chains. Keep the chains. Come on. Everyone's wearing chains these days, especially if you're successful.
Yeah. Nobby won't be called his worship either. That's an interesting one. You know, always at meetings, the mayor normally gets called your worship, which I find is a wee bit strange too. Again, he just gets called, I don't know, Mr. Mayor or Nobby or something like that at meetings.
So normally is it his worship? That's how you'd address the mayor in the meeting.
Yeah, so if you're in a meeting and you want to speak, you just say, through you, your worship, and it all seems a bit ridiculous.
Imagine being there asking Nobby, his worship, have you thought about cleaning the water tower?
Well, I guess part of it, as you say, why Shadsy sort of pulled it off a bit is that he's such a cartoonish figure that it was almost kind of like, oh, well, that's just part of his character, you know, that's part of...
And he just was so stoned all the time, you know, his eyes were just... I mean, if he wasn't stoned, his eyes were definitely telling another story, for sure. So that was kind of funny, like, oh, he's wearing his robe, he probably is a bit self-conscious because he's baked and paranoid, you know, he's like... He gets the big robe. Nobby's like, I don't need that. Might be a bit of a straight shooter.
I mean, old Shabbat was quite anti-establishment, but for someone that was quite anti-establishment, he really enjoyed the pomp and ceremony of the whole thing. Like, you know, I remember going to the first meeting, and they walked in, and you all had to rise for the mayor, and then he got up there and in his big robes and chains, and read out the council prayer, and everyone sat down after that. It was all a bit weird.
You've been to quite a few. How many council meetings do you reckon you've been to, Savvy?
Oh,
roughly,
quite a few.
10, 100?
I don't know, maybe 100. No, 2008. No.
How many?
I tell you, I cheat a wee bit now because they're a live stream.
Yeah, you were saying that. You were saying that the other day. And if they weren't talking about interesting topics, you'd be like, "Yeah, I'm not going to get much there. I'll just stay home tonight."
Yeah, and you just have it on and do some other stuff. It's because and you look at the live stream and there's about 5 other people watching it. It's not the most riveting stuff. A lot of it.
They would make it boring, so no one wants to watch it. Though, I mean, if they had some important issues they really want to talk about, they would fucking get people there. They'd be like, watch this, put it out there, put it sponsor it on Facebook. We're talking about this.
All over the world, people are bound to these old systems and old ways of doing things. It's not. It's just
they're probably making those boring on purpose, man. I bet.
I just bet they can't figure out how to change. You know, you get in this when you're trying to change tradition. You get in this weird zone of the sacredness of tradition and why it was this certain way, and then it's not a taboo, but you know, there's a proportion of the public out there that will be anti-changing what's a tradition purely automatically just because.
The other thing you've got to factor in is actually a lot of the stuff that the council does is just boring. You can't really dress it up. I mean, they're dealing, a lot of it's dealing with underground pipes and really key infrastructure stuff that's quite important, but just as really, in the end of the day, it's just boring as batshit. So it's really hard. It's funny, you get all these people lining up to be on council and they're going to do this and they're going to do this. You wonder if they really know what they're getting themselves into, some of these.
Yeah, I mean you've been exposed to thousands of hours of this now, Savvy. Like, does that much exposure, it's got to change a man, doesn't it? Like, It's like
Get a bit cynical on things and that.
deep in his core.
The other thing is that I think people overthink what the council can actually do as well. Like they're just there to make sure I go back to the whole pipes and stuff and street lights and stuff. That's really what they're there for. Another.
So they should stick to the basics, eh? Rather than head over to bloody China and spend a ridiculous amount of money and come back with no fucking lights.
They got out of their lane there, didn't
But
they?
while I go on about the boring council meetings, the Phantom Power at the Splash Palace story actually came from a council meeting where the council...
Was it a councillor?
No, well, I don't have to start those rumours. I remember it because I was talking to the journalist that was covering the meeting, and he said the pools guy, Pete Thompson, actually not a bad guy, he was the pools manager, and he was doing his monthly whatever update on what was going on at the pools, and just deadpan said, "Oh, we've got a bit of a problem about I don't know if he used the word phantom power, but and the reporter picked up on it, and then it went global."
I heard that, eh? But then, like, it took off. Like, every Friday, I think they were going and dropping one. Like, it was on, like, a...
I mean, it was just bizarre that it was on the same time every Friday.
It was...
Yeah. Well, I understand they did catch the person, but there wasn't much... Obviously, wasn't a lot of name and shaming going on after that. But
that leads into the sort of councillor conspiracy theory a wee bit, doesn't it? The fact that
Well, what I think happened is they've used that as a big distraction for something else they got going on there. I reckon they were about to take down the Big Ben at one point.
Yeah, well, there might have been something else big at that meeting, and that was just, I mean, any reporter's going to latch onto the Phantom Poor when it comes up at a council meeting.
I was thinking earlier today, Savvy, I was like, what's one Invercargill asset that you, if it disappeared, you would feel more sorely than anything else?
Oh, geez, that's a big question. In what sort of terms? Like just nostalgic or...
Just anything. Maybe just in
importance?
terms of something that brings you personal joy in this city.
As a local.
Well, this is going to sound very boring, but I think our biggest asset's the stadium, and I say indoor stadium.
Yeah,
stadium
probably is. Yeah.
And we haven't got the greatest of weather, so we need an indoor place.
100%.
But that might be a boring answer, I suppose. But
yeah, it definitely was a boring answer. But
I was thinking about my one, and I thought it might be.
Your one.
I think mine might be Queen's Park, actually. Yeah, another boring answer.
Oh, yeah.
Another boring answer.
I mean, if it was gone, you'd be like,
you'd be
like, oh, for what? For what? Even 1,000 houses, you'd be like, fuck off.
I was thinking about that gone, you know.
Yeah. No, I want to change my mind now, actually. I want to go Queen's Park too.
The kids always want to go there, you know, which is like quite cool because I actually don't mind going there. I get a bit of inspo for the garden. I'll go there, I'll look at trees and stuff. I've got trees to plant at home and things.
Yeah, no, it's a great place.
For not that bigger area, there's a lot of
That's a beautiful
hidden
place.
wee areas.
And there's no way they're going to take that away from us. No way.
Nah.
They better not.
The thing is that we're lucky the people that sorted out this town at the start. Carved off that section for Queen's Park. Otherwise, it would have been...
Well, he needs a plaque.
Every time I'm there these days, actually, now I make a point of reading the plaques. I was like, you know, who commissioned this or who bequeathed this? And there's some history in that place. It's a magic place.
Yeah, well, they just got it right. The town planners right at the start. I mean, you think about all of the rubbish that goes into trying to sort out planning or anything now that takes forever. But those back in the day, they just sort of, right, carve off this area. We're like, the other thing is when you go there, like I've been going there for years since I was a little kid, and you still find sort of nooks and crannies in the place that you think, oh, geez, I've never seen this before.
There's some good mahi going on.
That's great. Oh, yeah, shout out to all the Queen's Park staff who keep that place
fantastic
immaculate,
job.
you know.
Especially the leaf blowers. God damn it.
Every one of them, and every addition's been great. You know, the animals, the aviary, it's all cool. Tell
you what's cool is that they've got the cactuses and the indoor plants.
Oh yeah.
And they've got the fish in there.
That's cool.
Yeah. They heat it with this big boiler, man. These pipes, and it's like it's like a tropical fucking rainforest in there almost. It's like, that is so cool. I want to have that in my house one day, you know, like.
So, Fizzy, you go in Queen's Park as well? Does that make it?
No, I'm not going.
I
I haven't locked in that. He waxes Queen's Park.
The last thing I was going to say is, when I was talking about reading those plaques, you know, the famous ones on the way into the kids' playground, the eagle and the seal, the big sea lions, and
yes, yep.
I looked at those because that was opened by the Queen actually, back on the royal
The park
visit.
was.
That statue.
Do you reckon that's why they did those statues? Because the Queen was coming. They're like, oh, we need.
But then I looked up the sculptor. I was like, who made these? You know, these are, who can make these big bronze, beautiful sculptures these days? And
how you do that?
It was the sculptor's name on it. He was a famous British sculptor. They got a guy over from England to do it. And my mind went straight to the Chinese Christmas lights. I mean, man, they've
naturally,
done it.
but at least he brought the goods over here and it's there.
They've done no, but that's what I mean. They've done it right. Like they've got the right guy over, and look at, we're talking like 50, 60 years on, and these things are still in great condition.
They look better than the day they were put in. I might add.
Amazing,
and I was there.
Amazing, amazing stuff.
I've ridden on the back of that eagle many a times. I mean, it's just so big. There's a fucking golf course in it.
Well, yeah, you forget about that. You know?
A golf course runs right through it. You know, it's got the. I'm glad they've kept it all there, and there's no intention of, you know, that they're moving the museum, or they're going to build the museum still there again.
Yeah.
They'll build it still there again, won't they? Yeah. They should have tunnels. When they build that museum, they should have a tunnel, underground tunnel around the whole place too, so you can just pop up at hole 9. You just sort of pop in there for a wee. It's pissing down with rain. You just want to go and pop one down hole 9. You know. Still relevant nowadays, making bits of land that haven't been sold yet, turning them into like national parks, or putting covenants on them, or whatever they do, they put on them that you can't just turn into infrastructure.
There's some guys out there that would sell everything if they could. And we got to keep those guys in check, for God's sake.
If I had the millions and billions, I'd buy as much land as I could. You'd let people live on it, but you'd be like, no, you can't.
Have a tunnel network.
If that was the quickest way to get around, maybe.
Fuck, it would be probably quite good for like pollution and stuff, eh?
You'd have it all in a vac. And you just put it in a big bag at the end, you know.
Well, the underground tubes work pretty well for London.
It sure has.
It's still working well.
So it's time for you, Fizzer, to select your Invercargill.
Oh,
landmark.
yeah, if they took it away. I reckon if they took away all the poker machines, that would rob my joy, you know. That would just destroy Invercargill.
You're sadly not wrong.
It wouldn't just destroy a few certain people that use them, you know. It would.
Oh, it'd destroy it. Everything the poker machines prop up in Invercargill.
We're built on them. We're fucking built on them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. When they closed the Reedy Sands Golf Course.
Yeah, why do they do that? Not enough people coming through.
Just didn't have, it wasn't sustainable. But anyway, so council were looking at options, and there was this outfit from Australia, which was a golf developing outfit. Seen it, obviously hadn't been here, and put this big submission in that they were going to build these, you know, they were going to take over the golf course and build all these big apartments. They didn't quite realise that some pointed out that that it wasn't quite the Gold Coast. And then they did a bit more research and no, hang on, this is.
Oh, that would have been so funny. Imagine if they were out there just abandoned.
Yeah.
I mean, in the summer, Savvy, you know, it could have worked, eh? Like, a nice day out there, you're in the dunes, you just got this. You have to plant massive trees to block all the westerlies, but
yeah.